So we're back with a GP1. This video was supposed to be, we've bought a GP1 and a GP2, and I'm going to do a little bit comparison, but the GP2 didn't quite turn out right when we went for it. Bit of a shady character, even more of a shady car. If he watches this video, then do better. Unfortunately, you can't fake all your service history and get away with it, especially on a GP2. So we picked up the GP1 anyway. So this car, we actually acquired it from a customer who inquired with us last year. Unfortunately, she missed out on our GP1. She went on holiday, and it's with all cars, it's first come first serve. If you get into it, you get into it. We can't hold everything. But she's a lovely lady, and this one came all the way from Eastbourne, Le Eastbourne as I like to call it, because it may as well be France to me. Right, so let's have a look around this. It's got just shy of 64,500 miles, and it's almost got full dealer service history bar one service, which is very much a shame, but it's a massive history file for this one. Bodywork wise, we've got a few stone chips on the front, which we cannot avoid. Unfortunately, it's got 64,500 miles on. It has been recently ceramic coated by the previous owner, and it's in lovely condition. Comes with a private plate, which I think is worth probably about £1,000, £1,000 easily. Could go on a GP1, 2 or 3, as it says new GP. I'll start with some downsides on this one, which there isn't many. Diamond cut alloy wheels, nightmare to keep up with, whatever car you've got, and these are no bother. They've got a little bit of peeling on it, but it's the only downside to this car. Other than that, it's a lovely GP1. All the wheels are wrapped in Michelin Pilot Sports. The bodywork is nigh on immaculate. The history file for it is unbelievable, and I've got 3 keys. So we'll have a quick walk around. Now, with GP1s, if you didn't know, there is a few bits of information. They weren't built at Oxford, were partially built at Oxford, and they were finished by Bertone in Italy. So it's not your average John Cooper works. Lots and lots of upgrades, more horsepower on the engine, better intercooler, better suspension, better rear trailing arms, what made it onto the R53 after, quicker handling, and the all important rear seat delete. So no rear seats in this one, as with any R50 and R53, they're only there for show. History file though, we've got in front of us. Now look at this, come here. So this car is unbelievable on history. It's very rare when I actually see these filled out. Brake fluid services, no one does this, usually on an invoice as an afterthought. Coolant as well, but we'll start. It's PDI at Dorchester, 2008, 2011, main history. 2013, 2015, main dealer. The odd one out, Awkward Autos in 2016, and then we go to main dealer, main dealer, main dealer. And that's where we end it. I think there's a service in the paperwork for the next one. If not, we'll give it an all service anyway, and probably spark plugs. Actually, we'll get a full inspection too before it goes, and a new expansion tank, because the other one's a bit yellow, and it's mint. So at the moment, there is one other car what's similar to this up for sale at a dealership in Louth. Now, we got offered that car because we actually sold it last year, and this lady missed out on that car. This is very much a much nicer car as that one, because I've got all the photos underneath the other one, and as tidy as it is, the bodywork isn't as perfect as this one, and it doesn't drive as nice. Massive history folder for that car in Louth, but this one's got 5,000 miles less, and I'm always choosing the lesser mileage GP1, because that 5,000 miles is what, 3 years of driving in these weekend cars? You're not going to deal with this. If we jump into the interior, the only aftermarket part on this vehicle is the radio, and we've got the original radio to go with it, but the lady beforehand has spent a lot of money on a DAB radio with Bluetooth and all the nice bits what you want in a modern car, so you can get your nav on. Now, if you didn't know with these cars, these are Recaros, the front seats are Recaros, same seats but a better leather than the Recaros what you got from factory at the time and you paid a lot of money for, the black and grey ones. These ones are also heated, which I was surprised when obviously we're weight saving, so we've done away with the back seats. At the minute I think there's about 360 of these cars left in the UK. I think there were about maybe 440 registered when they were new. The numbers are a little bit iffy. But this one is number 1782. Now, all GP1s are in the same colour, thunder blue, just to match the rubbish weather in the north because it's always grey. We've had our summer now, it's done. April, we're back into winter and freezing. I think, should we go for a drive? Oh, right then. So, key in hand this time, I'm not looking for it. We go. So a lot of people worry about the room in minis. I'm 6'2" and I've sold these cars to a guy what once was 7'2". Let's turn the radio off. So these cars nearly all came with the same specs. You got aircon, you got cruise control, multifunction steering wheel, heated seats. Other than that, you didn't really get anything more. You don't really need it. The seats are comfy and the fun is in the driving in this one. I don't think I'll be doing too many burnouts in this one today because it's too nice. There's a few people I've seen track these. There's even a turbo one up for sale at the minute, but I just couldn't do it. I wouldn't actually probably buy that car either. These handle much nicer. This is probably one of the best handling cars we've ever had in. Oh yeah, nice and warmed up. Here we go. I can't really get on it because I'm going to fly off 6 stories if I do. They just look good. Now with the GP1s at the moment, the prices of them are fairly decent. I think it's because they're a bit underrated still. They should be worth a lot more money. They're super limited. More limited than the GP2, more limited than the GP3. Good cars are hard to find. I'm going to feel a bit dizzy and sick if I keep going around in circles. So what we'll do is we'll just pull up at the side of Lauren. But yeah, going back to pricing, I think these are vastly undervalued at the minute. And the reason being is there's always a few of them up for sale, whether it's low mileage ones or high mileage. But the trick is to get the nice car. You've got to get the nice car, well, the nice GP1, it's got to have the history, the condition of it. You can't be looking for things with smash bumpers because they're irreplaceable these days from Mini. The intercoolers are, I think, 1,900 quid new now. So you've got to look for good cars. High mileage cars, modded cars, and not really ones that are going to hold the value. I'd much rather have the John Cooper X210 with lower mileage because there's less of them about. These are a collector's piece, but they need to be driven. The ones that are way worth hundreds of thousands of pounds, if ever, are going to be the ones with like sub 10k on. Everything else wants to be driven. You've seen the Fords go, these will go the same. So, previous owner of this car, lovely lady, lovely house. She's had many classic cars and she searched high and low for this vehicle. She was going to have our last one. But like I said, she were on holiday at the time and it got snapped up by another gent. And she explained that she spent ages looking for this car, months, just trying to find the right one. So the story is with this one, we were going to buy this car and the GP2. Now the GP2 went up for sale and he had aftermarket wheels on. Before I'll just get another set of standard wheels and put it back to standard. And we were told that it got 5 years of Mini history and the rest of it was from Lowen. So, guy needed to sell his car so he could get an F-Type. He said it were an SVR, so I hope it was, because it's the only car probably worth selling the GP2 for. And we sent Lauren on a train for it. So, Lauren goes all the way down south. I think you did, what, 13 trains you said?
9.
9 trains in 13 hours, sorry. 3 trains to get to this guy. Gets there, and the guy literally pulls her inside, sits her down, and drops an employment tribunal on her desk and asks for her opinion, which is like red flag number 1, which is bizarre because we're not a solicitor, we're just there to buy a vehicle. Randomly, like, what would you do with this? Like, I don't know, it's your problem. The next one was start the car up. It sounds a bit chainy, which it's an N18 car, they are R56s. We'd have put a chain in anyway before selling it, just for precaution. And then we come to the history. So this guy's only had this car 2.5 months, which is a bit of a red flag in my eyes because you don't buy a car to get rid of it straight away. Hence why he's stuck with his story of getting an F-Type. There you go, R52 coupe, and you saw your plate type that. And we go back to the story. Yeah, so he had it 2.5 months. Clean HPI, lots of owners. He had 10 owners and 10 plate changes, which I can get over. He's a, I think, what, 12, 13-year-old car now. Next part is we come to the history. So we got told what the history was, which was plenty of it. Lots of low in history, loads of mini history. Generally, we get cars and people don't quite know what history they've got for it. We work out that it's generally full history and they've missed all the bits what Mini's got on the system. But we got there and he had 3 pieces of paper for it. 3 pieces of paper, 2 of which were for totally different cars, 2011 R56s at Lowen, and not this car. So one of them was supposedly for this car, but it didn't have the reg or the VIN number on. So at the minute I've got a GP2 with no history. I've been lied to. We could travel 200 miles and 6 hours on trains to get to it. I'm back. So, let me get this. Where did I put it? Oh, it's here. We started recording, yeah? 1 car park ticket, 1 thing for the accountant. Claim my VAT back on the 90p I've just spent. Right, so where were we? 6 hours of trains for this car. I think there were 13 hours in total. Got there, employment tribunal's gone down, service history's fake. So I'm like, right, I'll ring Mini, find out what they've got for the car, because I still know quite a lot of people down at BMW. And it turned out it'd been into their system once. GP1, what should have come out with TLC, has been in for a service in the dealership network once. Like, what can I do? This car's got 62,000 miles on. It's been only 1 service I've got recorded at Mini at 27,000 miles. And the guy's an absolute Fruit Loop. Now we buy hundreds of cars a year, and I mean hundreds, and we know when to walk away from a car, but every now and then one sticks in our brain where you think, God, I'm glad I walked away from that. So at the minute, I've got Lauren 200 miles away with no car what we thought we're purchasing, because this guy he's not quite being honest with, well, anything. And the rule of thumb when you're buying private is, if it don't quite sit right, you walk away, because it's just not worth the risk, especially when we buy so many cars private. And I don't know whether he was genuine and he just thought he had some history and the guy had pulled the wool over his eyes previously, or it's the fact that he just was that desperate to sell his car, he just wanted to do everything. So I got 1 service document from him, what didn't have a registration on, and it had a different VIN number on the car, so I couldn't use that because all the service documents had the wrong VIN number on. And if you didn't know where the VIN numbers are on Minis, with BMWs and Minis, they're always in the bottom side of the passenger side of the windscreen, or it's on the strut top tower underneath. Always double check, because people clone cars, there's a lot going on. Plus, with desirable cars like the GP2, people will do anything. The car's got exported, the logbooks are still in the country, so it's easy to clone a car. I think Mark McCann made a video on that not long ago. And we've come across a lot of cars what's either been stolen, recovered, cat ends, breakers what shouldn't have been on the road anymore. We've seen it all, and obviously we're dealing with 20-year-old cars, so they've lived a life, and the owners, whether it's their fault or somebody else's fault before it, they do simply most of the time don't care. So you always got to look for a good car, and that's why most of the cars what we bring in, very rare when they've got part service history. However, we try and get full service history because we want the cars to be seen as potentially an appreciating asset one day, because these are not depreciating anymore, and we don't want to get known for selling dodgy cars, because who does? But yeah, so this guy is an absolute Fruit Loop. He's running up and down his office. He's got his car at this stage to literally run away and leave Lauren in his boardroom until I ring him and go, what is happening with his service history? I've been on phone to a minute, there's no service history for this car, and you've lied to me. What is happening with it? Have we got anything? So he's like, oh, I'll just ring the wife, she's at home, and see what I can get sent through. 2 minutes later, I've heard nothing. So like, have we got anything? She goes, I think we've found some. Turns out it's for a completely different car again. This guy has got many cars. I don't know if he's a driveway dealer or they're all just rob cars, but he's giving me all the red flags that this guy's an absolute nightmare to deal with, and he's not helped himself in any sense of the word. So next thing is, right, I thought we'll negotiate price a little bit. It's still a GP2, it's HPI clear, and it's a decent price, and I thought I can find the history. I've got enough contacts now to track down history. I know how to do it. You can't get a service book stamped by a different dealership, but you can certainly post it off to get stuff done. And there's enough specialists, and if this guy actually has took it to Lowen probably know the car. So we negotiate price, agree on a price, and then we go to put it in trade. Access denied, DVLA have locked this logbook. I'm like, why is it locked? Never come across that before. It's a weird one, because obviously usually when a logbook is locked, it potentially could be getting changed to a stolen and recovered or a category car, or I don't know how logbook loans work, but I don't know if they're recorded against a logbook. Everything is super sketchy on this one. And that's the point where you've decided to just walk away. Completely just walk away. 30 minutes later, unbeknown to this guy, Lawrence sat waiting for the bus outside of this guy's business, and I get a call saying, oh, I've just gone down to the dealership and here's a screenshot, they've managed to put it in trade and it's going to them now. I'm like, hold up a second. Lawrence sat outside your dealership at the bus stop, not your dealership, sorry, your business, at the bus stop. You ain't even left yet. So I go along with it and then ignore it. Like, it just is what it is, it's not our first rodeo. And then at 7 o'clock that night, I get a text, and I'll put the screenshot of this one, saying, it made me feel sick that you thought we had a stolen car or something like that. Well, you might not have a stolen car, but when there's multiple red flags, and this is a tip for it, if there's multiple red flags with the person or the car, just walk away, because there's always another car. Even though these cars are limited, there's just another car. You don't want to get scammed. And I see this a lot with people buying private. We buy a lot of cars private, and if it doesn't add up, if it doesn't add up at all, you just walk away, because you get stung. And this is why dealerships exist, and people think, oh, dealerships are just out to rob people and get people. Well, they're not, because you've got consumer rights, and you've got a thing called small claims court or fast track court, or the contract, what you've agreed to. You've got loads of comebacks on a dealership. Even if the car has come up that it's a category N before you bought it, it's not disclosed, you've got 6 years to get your money back from that dealer. And we've come across that, and we told people to do that, and I think a few of the local mini specialists have come across that, and they're no longer mini specialists, they're doing other stuff. There's a big dealership in Huddersfield what used to do these cars and no longer does for that reason. Again, plus prepping cars. There's a 20-year-old car you're buying off someone's drive. What is happening with that car? How much work does it need? Because I can tell you now, every car I get on my ramp needs something. Even this needs something. We need to do an expansion tank, which I've got, and we're going to do over the weekend, and we'll give it a service. And this is borderline immaculate. but the cars what are 2,000, 3,000 pound need 1,500 quid's worth of work and parts, and I can tell you that for free because I do it every day. I've got a customer at the moment, he's bought a car for £250 and it needs 2.5 grand's worth of work on it, but he's bought it for £250, he's got 85,000 miles on. He could put the money into it and fix it and he'll have a very good car, cheaper than what he'd pay for private. But that car usually privately he'd have been paid what, 2 grand for it, and he still needs 2.5 grand's worth of work on it. If you're not a motor trader or you're not a mechanic or a technician or anything like that, then buying a car of this age is risky business. You are going to be thousands of pounds into fixing it, and if you think you can get away with putting the parts on from the breakers, then you'll end up replacing it twice as quick. But yeah, hopefully you kept up with that story, because I didn't. Back to the GP1. It's warm, isn't it? Let's put some aircon on. So if you've never driven a GP1, they are different to just a regular John Cooper Works. They feel different. If anything, we know that they're 8 horsepower quicker, the map's slightly different, they'll look better. I'm partial to a 210, a special one, or one that's super low mileage, but these are fun. These are some of the best cars you can ever drive. You can go on track days with these. These were keeping up with Porsches, I think, on the Evo test. I think there were mixed reviews for this car when it came out. It were expensive, and there were a lot cheaper French hatchbacks for the time. However, these have not fallen to bits, and they ain't got loads of electrical problems, and the engines don't really blow up on them, and quite a lot of stuff. Plus, there were only 2,000 of these made. The UK got the majority of the numbers. We see them all up for sale all over the world, and they are half price in the UK of what they are in Europe. And it might be the fact I am sat on this side and got lower numbers, but there's no reason why these cars won't be exported in future to other countries. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Now, I didn't expect the first lot of videos to do as well as they did, because it's just me essentially just chatting. They're all one take videos, and this is all coming off the top of my head. If you can understand my Barnsley accent, then congratulations. If you can't, put the subtitles on, but I can't guarantee you the subtitles are going to understand my accent as well.
I'll never forget that first day at pit. Me and my father worked a 72-hour shift.
But give us a like, please subscribe, follow us on Facebook, buy a car. We sell loads of parts as well. We send these all over the world. We've got customers literally all over the world buying parts off us. We're a bit of an unknown business, so if you stumbled across us on the YouTube algorithm and subscribe, then thank you very much. If you know who we are anywhere, thank you very much for keeping in contact. Get some comment on what you want to see. We're after buying not just minis. We love all cars, but we are after, when it comes to minis, I want to find creme de la creme. I want to find the cars that are unobtainable, the ones that will go in museums, or realistically should have been back as race cars at some point. Or cars and coffee stuff. We all buy these cars because we enjoy driving them, because they've all got that go-kart feel. The R56s had the go-kart feel. F56s didn't really. It were a very big car. And you're in like a super hot hatchback when you mod them, because they do 320 off for a stage one, and they are fast. But hopefully you've enjoyed this video. This car will be live on our website a little later on today. If you are watching this video in a couple of days, congratulations, you've got a time machine and you've fast forwarded to when this car is. I think this car will go up, it'll sell straight away. It's too clean not to, the history is too good for it, and the price point what we'll put it up with, unfortunately, is going to undercut our previous GP1, what's currently up for sale, what we got offered and declined. We were offered to put that car on SOR by that dealership, but they never got back to us, which we would have done for them, because we know that car, we've prepped that car, but it's got 69,000 miles on now, and It's still a GP1, it's still a nice car, but it's not this car. This has got 5,000 less miles on, arguably better history, better condition bodywork wise, and it'll be at a cheaper price point. So if you are wanting a GP1, this is the car to snap up right now. I don't even think you can get one private at the moment for what we're going to sell this at. But we don't want to keep hold of our cars. We need to get new, more interesting stuff in. You never know what we're going to get in over the weekend or what's going to leave us. Right, here's a quick question for you. So, would you rather have a GP1, a really low mileage clean 210, the 225 we've got, or a John Cooper Garage's car, what's come straight out of essentially a horse's mouth? Which would you rather have? Because they're all fairly similar in price points at the minute. The John Cooper Garage's car, what we have, is an unbelievable spec, and you'll never ever see that again on a car. The 225 is a one of one, even though it's a 225. I think there are about 30 cars built, but that's the one of one on that version of the platform. There is not another what's built on the race car platform for the roads. That car's got a pan roof, which you'll never find on a race car as well. Or VA05, what we've got in stock at the moment, which is 32,000 miles, John Cooper Works dealership kit car from new, with the black sparkles in front. They're all fairly similar price points. What would you rather have? That's a question. I mean, what variables do you consider? Because you're looking at each car realistically for an investment. The John Cooper Works 210, if you plough the miles on, is just going to be worth whatever a John Cooper Works is. The GP is always going to be a GP. The 225, a one of one, value wise, what is it? Is it 10 grand? Is it 15 grand? Is it 25 grand? I think it's more somewhere in the mid-range of that. It's definitely not 10 grand, because you'll never see them cars up for sale again. And the John Cooper Garage's cars will literally, I know they're getting stashed away in warehouses at the moment, because we've had a few through his hands and they'll never see the light of day again. And there is a few other collectors that I'm aware of what are putting these cars away. The John Cooper Garage's cars are a strange one. They created the kits, created a lot of the accessories, and then they got shut down by BMW themselves. So where is it? What other car do you know with the same model of so many variations? It's impossible. There ain't none. But what would you rather have? Money or no object? You're going to stash the money in a minute, or you're going to keep it for yourself. You can only buy one of them. What are you buying? Let us know in the comments.